Are you ready to face the future when the safety nets crumble and the unthinkable becomes reality? Hello, everybody, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and we are all about pantry preparedness. I felt that this was a discussion that we needed to have based on current events. I hate current events a lot. I have so much to cover today, so I made myself some notes. I hope you bear with me during that, right? But first, we're going to talk about some current headlines. I'm not going to pick a right side, a left side, a middle side, an upside, or a downside. I'm not going to pick them. I'm not going to discuss them. It's just current events as a whole, okay? So, over the past few months, we've seen headlines and reports about adjustments, we'll call them adjustments, to Medicaid and Social Security, right? And food assistance. While these updates might not spell an immediate crisis, they signal that the support systems that many people count on could face significant challenges down the road. For example, some news outlets have highlighted proposals to reduce Medicaid coverage. So many people rely on that for just basic stuff, you know? In parallel, similar discussions are happening around changes to food assistance programs. Again, overwhelmingly, so many people rely on this. Our elderly and our children. It's so necessary. Both of these policy shifts remind us, though, to consider how reliant we are on those systems. There's a lot of people that will live and potentially die by them. Even if these changes unfold gradually, they underscore the need for personal preparedness. I mean, it really does drill home how important personal preparedness is when they are talking about cutting off lifelines for food and medical care. This is why building your own food stockpile is so important, more important today than it's been in a very long time. By ensuring that you have a well stocked pantry filled with essential, non perishable items, you can maintain a level of self reliance even if support systems experience strains. We'll call it strains. Yeah. Now, there's implications for the safety nets, right? In recent months, we have seen shifts in policies affecting healthcare and food assistance programs. For example, some changes in Medicare and adjustment to food stamp benefits indicate that the support we once took for granted may not always be there when people need it the most, the absolute most. Think of it like this, okay? So imagine if you're used to having a safety net, if it is just literally how you survive, okay? It is how you feed yourself, it is how you feed your children. It's literally how you survive. But one day, somebody snaps their fingers, signs ink to paper, and the net starts to fray. It starts to give out, right? What do? You prepare. Now is the time to prepare. Absolutely. You need to make sure that you have your own backup plan. Well, I can go locally if I can't get it federally. No, you can't, because the federal government funds the local agencies. It's just the way that it works. It's the way it was designed. So you have to make sure that you have your own backup plan. And that's exactly what we're going to try to help with a little bit today. Okay. Let's say that you have a pantry stocked with non-perishable foods, a reserve of water, some basic supplies, you know. These act as your personal safety net. I call them my insurance policy. I have said I'm not only preparing for everyday emergencies, but for old age, right? Because the world is what it is. Um, if changes occur in government support, you'll have the essentials to get through at least on a temporary basis. So you'll be able to get through any temporary challenges because hopefully they're just temporary. Kind of in short, while government programs are there to help, it's smart to take extra steps to ensure that your family's well being is covered. Those extra steps are going to be super important immediately. Start small. I say it all the time, so I'm going to change the word on you. You don't have to do a pantry inventory. You have to do a pantry audit. There you go, because it's tax time, right? So do a small pantry audit. Create a shopping list for long-lasting food items. Gradually build your own safety net. You do not have to do this all overnight. You don't. You can't. And you can't do it without putting other areas at risk. So start small, but make a list. Audit what's in your pantry. Make a list of long-lasting, shelf-stable items that you eat today, okay? Put those on your shopping list. Start ticking away at them. This allows you to build your own safety net, okay? Because personal preparedness means that you are ready no matter what happens next. Having a pantry filled with essential, non-perishable foods isn't just about being prepared for emergencies, okay? Because emergencies are going to come up. They always do. It's the way of life. It's about taking control of your life and reducing your dependency on external systems. Even if right now you have to use those systems to create that buffer, do it. Do it. But it means that you have control. I am a self-proclaimed control freak. I want control. I want to know that I have things covered for me and mine and my household. I want to know that my husband is going to eat well to keep up his strength and to stay healthy. I want to know that the animals we take care of are going to do the same. I want to know that my family and the people that I love are going to be cared for the same way. The only way this happens is if we take control and use what's out there today to build up that pantry to make sure that we are covered. I'm not saying to go out and do it all today. Like I said, you can't. You just can't, okay? Building a self-reliant lifestyle, it's a journey. It really is a lifestyle. And so if it's not something that you currently do today, it is something that you can develop into your lifestyle. I'm busy. I have 14 kids, 2 full-time jobs, and I just don't have time. If it's important to you, you will make time. I'm not the queen of excuses here. I I cannot prop you up with your excuses because if it's important, if it means the security of yourself and your family, you will find the time. Whether you're a busy family, okay, or a single parent or just someone looking to take more control of your food security, more control of your food security. Starting small and planning smart can make the difference. Start small, plan smart. Recent events have shown us that our safety nets may not always be there. They could go away just like that, which means they won't be there when you need them. Instead of letting that worry us, because, oh, while I get it, it is wasted energy that you could use focusing on solutions, okay? We can take this as a chance to plan for our future. These reports and news stories, right? They remind us that warning signs, okay, are not just signals of potential trouble. They're also a call to action to build a resilient, forward-thinking lifestyle. The signs are there. They're being spelled out every single day. We need to pay attention to them. And we need to start thinking about how we can have a more resilient, forward-thinking lifestyle. So I'm all about embracing the sense of urgency because I think it's there, okay? So embrace it, but stay rational. That's going to be the key, is staying rational. Oh gosh, something we all experience when scrolling through the news, whether it's on the television, whether it's on social media, whether it's on the radio, okay, is the dramatic language of the headlines, right? Oh yeah, you've probably seen them, that scream about apocalyptic times. Yay, okay? These dramatic headlines are designed to get your attention. Marketing, people, marketing, okay? And to evoke strong emotions. That's how they get you to pay attention. That's how they make their money, okay? So they often paint a picture of imminent disaster. The world is crumbling underneath our feet, all scorched earth and all that other stuff, right? Even when the full story is, more nuanced, because most of the time it is. When you see these headlines, you need to take a moment, take a deep breath, okay? Read the entire story, not just the headlines. Oh, this is so important, especially on social media. So you want to check multiple sources also, because just because one person says it doesn't mean it's accurate. Go look for other resources. It's like every time Barry Manilow dies. Do you know how many times that man has died according to social media? And he's still walking around. Yes, he is. So you want to get multiple sources. You want to get multiple reliable sources. That's good. This helps you get a clearer picture of the situation too, because where one place might report it as the end of the world as we know it, and the other place is going, it's not that bad. Take a deep breath. This is what's actually going on. That way you can kind of balance your scales a little bit. It's natural to feel anxious, but don't be driven by fear. That anxiousness, it's there. It serves a purpose. Okay. It lets us know that something is amiss, and hopefully prompt you into a call of action, prompt you into action, period. Staying informed, it means looking beyond the sensational headlines, okay, and going deeper than the dramatic language, because there's always more to the story. Remember to don't let fear dictate your actions. Some of the dumbest things we do are when we do them because we're afraid. And that's not a good place to make life-altering decisions, okay? So don't let fear dictate your actions. Be curious. Be curious in your time. Verify facts and try to keep a level head and a lot of deep breaths. While it's important to be ready, okay, rushing into panic buying can actually cause more problems than it solves. Yes, it is. Anybody remember 2020? Ah, what a mess. Okay, so when people see alarming headlines, their first thing is, they're going from a place of fear. They're acting from a place of fear. You can't do that. You just can't. So it's natural to want to grab as much as possible immediately. Go get it all, right? However, this is a hasty behavior, and it can lead to unnecessary shortages because, and waste, affecting not just you, but your community as well. Instead, consider a more measured approach to the entire thing, right? Start by creating that detailed shopping list of non-perishable items based on your family's needs. Remember, I said needs, not wants. Okay. Gradually stock up on non-perishable items. Gradually. Ensure that nothing is wasted. If you do it gradually, then you can discover whether or not you should get more and nothing gets wasted, because wasting food should be criminal. Wasting money is going to be extremely painful. Doing both of them at the same time for no apparent reason other than fear is going to put you in some really bad places. Remember, preparedness is about thoughtful planning. It's not a one and done. It's not something that you just go out there and do it because some website or some YouTuber told you to, okay? It's something that you do with intention, based on your family, based on your household, your life. So while there are good discussions out there are good suggestions out there, not every single one of them's for you. So you pick and choose and you plan so that you know which ones are for you. By taking this calm approach, okay, not only will you be able to secure your food supply, super important, okay, but also it'll help you maintain balance in your community during uncertain times. If you go out there and all of your neighbors see you buying up 4 truckloads of toilet paper, reminiscent of 2020, that is going to spur even more uh, bad purchasing from the people that see it, because they're going to think something's wrong, so they've got to get it, right? And then by doing that, you're actually putting other people in your community at risk when that panic travels. Don't be the person that yells fire in a crowded theater, because it doesn't do anybody any good and it can hurt a lot of people. The trick is to balance urgency with practicality, and that's hard. Not going to lie, it's hard, okay? You need to be urgent but intentional when you are doing this. So, building a diverse food stockpile is definitely a wise move, but it should always be done with careful planning, like I was saying. So, before you rush to stock up, start by assessing your family's needs. What do you have to do? You have to inventory or audit, whichever word you prefer. I kind of prefer inventory, truthfully. Okay. Remember, the goal is to create a sustainable reserve. Sustainable reserve. Okay. Not to hoard items that might go to waste. There's a difference between hoarding and prepping. I've discussed this numerous times over the years. Okay. A hoarder is somebody who stacks it all up to the rafters with no intention of ever using it. A prepper is somebody who uses what they purchase and rotates through it. Huge difference. Don't ever let somebody call you a hoarder if you are just preparing. And for that matter, walk away when they call you that. And digits are optional on your exit. It's all about planning smartly. Okay, so plan smart, purchase gradually. And then always keep an eye on both variety and quality because nobody wants to eat Jif peanut butter 3 meals a day, 365 days a year. You won't make it through the first 2 weeks. I like to think that I would, but probably not. It's a mind game. It absolutely is. Okay. So, psychological preparation, because that plays into it really big, really, really big. When you plan your steps carefully, it not only reduces anxiety, okay, because when something is not right, the best thing to do is just sit down and plan things out and point you in the right direction, right? But when you break down a big task, but it also builds the resilience you need to face uncertainty. It really does. So you're reducing anxiety and you're building your resilience. Oh, it's like a win win. Okay. Think about it this way: when you break down a big task into manageable steps, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? You transform overwhelming challenges into achievable goals. It's that if you're part of the goal or planning communities, right? It's not setting goals, it's being smart about it and setting intentions. Okay, fine. There's a smart method, right? That's actionable, blah, blah, blah. But breaking down those goals into smaller bite size tasks will make it seem much less daunting, much less daunting. Okay. Instead of panicking over what might happen, because we have no control over what might happen. Okay. Create a clear step by step plan that puts you into control. Control freak. Perfect. You want to do a step by step plan that puts you into control. And then you're focusing on your plan. You're paying attention to your plan. You are not worrying about what might happen because the mights are overwhelming, absolutely overwhelming. You don't want to go there, okay? By adopting a calm and methodical approach, you're able to reduce stress, focus on what you can control, build a robust system that ensures your household's well being. Yeah, hello, okay? So remember, taking these things step by step, okay, can make a world of difference when you plan carefully and methodically. You're not just planning for the future, you're not just preparing for the future. You're also fostering resilience and maintaining peace of mind today because we need everything in our arsenal to have peace of mind today. I don't watch the news, okay? Okay, I get it. Um, I do make myself watch the news. I also make myself stop watching the news because if I were to watch it as much as I'm inclined to, think back to 9/11. Where were you? What were you doing? 9/11, right? After I got sent home from work because nobody knew what was going on, we spent over 24 hours glued to the television watching the horrors on repeat. That that will mess up a person's head, okay? You don't want to do that right now. Not with the news, not with the news on social media, none of that. So, just I need to remind you the importance of staying informed in uncertain times, regularly checking reliable news sources. Government updates is key to staying ahead of potential disruptions, right? Oh, and what's reliable? I don't know anymore because every time I say something's reliable, you guys tell me I'm wrong. So, whatever is reliable to you. This means you can plan your next steps. If you are keeping an eye on what's happening, you can plan your next steps with somewhat more confidence, right? Rather than being caught off guard by sudden changes, because that sucks. That's not fun at all. Set aside a few minutes each day or week. Seriously, because things are flipping so fast. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of who's on top, okay? But each day or each week, just a few minutes to review these updates to see what's going on. Whether it's a reputable news website, government press release, or even official social media channels, right? Remember that by being proactive doesn't mean living in fear. So that's why you have to regulate your consumption, but still consume. It needs to be done to know where you are and what you're standing on. Don't rely on somebody else to tell you what's going on, because they may be interpreting it a little bit differently than you are. Take a few minutes, just a few. You want to trust reliable sources, okay? And let the facts guide your preparedness plans. We have seen the potential cuts to Medicaid and SNAP benefits for a while now. We've known this has the potential of actually arriving. That's what you should be focusing on right now. You do want to understand the connection between policy and supply chain. Okay. So when policies shift, and this one was kind of tricky for me to figure out how to explain, but when policies shift, especially those that reduce benefits like food assistance or healthcare, okay, it's often a sign that there could be broader impacts down the line. So it's not just about today, it's also about tomorrow, but don't worry about what might happen. I'm telling you, it's a juggling act, okay? These changes may not cause immediate disruptions, but they can hint at potential challenges ahead on how resources are distributed and managed. So did you think if they actually do significantly cut healthcare and food assistance, that it's going to impact how we can even obtain the things that we need? It does. It does. Okay. For example, when benefits are reduced, fewer people may have the means to purchase essential goods. I'm not even talking about chips. I'm talking about essential goods. Okay. This can lead to decreased demand in certain areas, and paradoxically, may even disrupt supply chains that rely on steady consumer demand. So, if there's no steady consumer demand, then the supply chains are impacted because they don't need to deliver it, right? Stuff rolls downhill, and trust me, I'm being nice when I say stuff. So, the methods that we get these things distributed are then impacted, and their employees are then impacted, which means more people needing health and food assistance. Yeah. But it also means that our stores are not as stocked as we are used to them being. So you may not be able to get all that stuff that you think you must have, right? Over time, this could create bottlenecks, making it harder to get food and other resources when they are most needed. How do you prepare for that? You build up your pantry. I'm going to give you an example that I saw. Consider a local grocery store that suddenly experiences a drop in customer purchases due to reduced benefits, okay? Suppliers might scale back their shipments, leading to shortages, even if overall demand hasn't decreased significantly. This is just one way policy changes today can signal challenges tomorrow. So the grocery store is not ordering as much because people are not buying as much, which means they're not having as much delivered, which means the people that are delivering it are then unemployed, which means eventually the grocery store is going to cut their staff too. And all in the meantime, there's less stuff on the shelf. By recognizing these early warning signs, which is what we're doing, okay, we can plan ahead, whether that means adjusting your personal food stockpiles or supporting local initiatives because, oh my gosh, they're going to need it, that strengthens supply chains and community resilience. I cannot tell you how much that practically every single food pantry out there, every single place that offers any kind of assistance, uh, does so because they are funneling federal funds. So if those go away, there's no more assistance. Being a prepper means you need to be flexible. This is not a set it and forget it process. It never was, it never will be. It is a lifestyle. It grows with you, it morphs with you, it shrinks with you. It's all about you. This is one time where you can say, it's all about me, okay? Because it is. But you have to be flexible. If you go out and stock up on a whole bunch of stuff and then a year later realize you don't even really like it, what have you done? What impacts have you caused? A lot. You have wasted, you have taken resources away from somebody who will use it, okay? You have wasted money, you have wasted space, you have wasted time. You have to be flexible and understand that things change. So I want to really stress this essential aspect of preparedness, adaptability. You have to adapt to changing times. I think we all learned that about 5 years ago, right? While it's great to have a solid plan in place, it's important to remember that what works today might need adjustment to certain situations moving forward. Certain situations will evolve. It's just the way the world works, okay? So think of your preparedness plan as a living document, okay? It's a snapshot of your current needs and circumstances. Take a picture, okay? But as the world changes, and it's gonna, okay, whether due to policy shifts, supply chain disruptions, or unexpected events, you may need to adjust your plan. You need to. You will need to. I guarantee it. You need to remember that flexibility is key. Okay, so your plan should evolve as your situation changes. Make it a habit to review and adjust your emergency preparations regularly. This way, you'll be ready for almost everything that comes your way. You can't prepare for everything, it's impossible, but you can prepare for most of it, okay? And if you are regularly putting your hands and your head in there and you are making adjustments and you are seeing what is working and what isn't working and you're making more adjustments, you've got it. Nothing will surprise you. I can't say that. We always get surprised by something, but it won't surprise as much and it won't hurt as much, okay? No matter how busy you are, you can do this. So a little bit about leveraging community resources. As we move forward, if this does come into play, community resources are going to be something that you need to be aware of. So if you've been meaning to go out and find out about some of these things, stop waiting, okay? Just stop. Make some phone calls, do some internet searches, talk to some people, go to some organizations and talk to them. See if they can point you in the right direction, right? But a key element of staying informed is tapping into community networks. What did I say before? In order to meet your people, you have to people. Now's the time. Get out there and meet your people. Get out there and meet your people, okay? These networks not only keep you updated on the latest information, but they also provide valuable support and additional resources. I'm hearing amazing stories about people who are like, I went here and I met this person, and oh my gosh, we have so much in common. And now I'm doing this for them and they're doing this for me. And I think we're going to be great friends because you have that common denominator to build off of, okay? Those kinds of things are invaluable, absolutely invaluable. Local community groups, neighborhood associations, online forums, okay, are excellent sources for real-time updates and support. They can offer insights and practical tips that you may not find in mainstream media outlets. Knowing what's going on. It's like listening to the police scanner. You get one half of the story, but you don't actually know what happened or who it happened to, okay? So you need to get involved with your community so that you can keep an eye on what is happening local to you, because it's going to be different than what's local to me. And it's going to be way different than what they're showing on the news. It's also about connecting with people. Yes, connecting with the people around you, sharing insights, and building a support team. And that benefits everybody. You're not going to get along with everybody. You were never meant to. But you need to find your people. They're out there. Whether it's neighborhood apps, right? Community groups, local events, tap into your community networks and harness the power of collective knowledge, because that's some of the best knowledge out there. I'm hoping that you're still with me, but I'm hoping that this video urges you, okay? It encourages you to use these warning signs that we are seeing as a catalyst for proactive and measured steps towards greater food security and personal preparedness. I've said it before, The government's not coming to save you. I think they took me extremely literally. By recognizing early signs, you have to pay attention, acting with informed urgency, not just run out there screaming fire, informed urgency, okay? And maintaining flexibility in your planning, you can create a robust safety net for yourself and your community, even if you are bare bones now, okay? It's doable. It's choices. It's choices and decisions moving forward. So even if you are scraping by now on the different kinds of assistance, I get it. I know too many people that are. I know too many people that are struggling right now. We're not even close to the top of this. I really feel it's going to get a lot worse. We need to make sure that we are taking care of our own, that we are in control of the narrative in our households. So again, I have to ask you, are you ready to face the future when the safety nets crumble and the unthinkable becomes reality? Leave it in the comments section down below. Until next time, everybody, please be safe. Stack it to the rafters, my friends.